What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Zero Lab. Today we're taking a look at a fire type deck, and no, it is not Charizard EX. We are playing Vulpix and Ninetales with Ponyta and Rapidash. It's a firebox basic, or not basic, but one prize deck that is enabled by the strength of the Blaine supporter card. Blaine says during this turn, attacks used by your Ninetales, Rapidash, or Magmar do plus 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And we have some pretty economical attacks on these Pokemon. Our Ninetales here for 2 fire energy does 90. When you play Blaine, you're going to be doing 120, which ironically is enough to knock out the best card in the game, which is Pikachu EX. Not the best card in the game, but probably the best attacker in the game. Then Rapidash has the fire main attack 440 just for 1 fire energy, so very cheap attack cost there. Chipping away with that 40 damage, but when you play Blaine, it does plus 30, so you're doing 70 with Rapidash. We also have a Farfetch'd in here. Obviously, that turn 1 Leak Slap is just good when you're going second and you can attack for turn. Leak Slap setting up good damage with that 40 damage. Then to round out the list, we have 2 X-Speeds, 2 Pokeballs, 2 Research, 2 Blaine, 2 Sabrina, and a Giovanni. And that is the list. So we're going to jump into the ladder and see what we can do with this deck. See if we can't get a couple of wins under our belt utilizing Blaine and his fire type Pokemon. Finding our first match here. We are going second, so that is great. Hopefully we can start the Farfetch'd or a way to find it, but we do start the Farfetch'd. That is great. So we're going to get that turn 1 Leak Slap. We have a Ponyta and a Vulpix in hand already. So that's great to get those benched on our first turn so they can evolve on the following turn. And it looks like we are going up against Pikachu EX. They've got the Electabuzz in here for 2 lightning energy. It does Thunder Punch. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 40 more damage. If tails, this Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself. So we'll see if our Ninetales is able to overcome this Pikachu EX deck. Passing over to us, we have Blaine in hand now. We're going to bench Ponyta. We're going to bench Vulpix. We're going to attach Return to Farfetch'd. And then we're going to play a Research. Drawing 2 cards, we pull another Rapidash. We definitely want to find a Ninetales here soon. Ninetales is our best attacker into Pikachu, but we're going to be Leak Slapping for a while. At least one more turn of Leak Slapping that our opponent is going to have to endure. Setting up all of that damage that we want to see. Our opponent attaching to that active Pikachu EX. Red card coming down from our opponent. That's unfortunate. We lose our Rapidashes, but maybe we can draw into the Ninetales. There's another Vulpix, there's a Ponyta, and there is a Blaine. So sadly, did not draw into the Ninetales, but we did top deck the Rapidash here. We are going to bench Vulpix, evolve into Rapidash, and then we are just going to attach for turn onto the Vulpix. Ninetales takes 2 energies to attack. Rapidash only takes 1, so might as well start loading up those Vulpixes first while we're still attacking with this Farfetch'd. Now, Farfetch'd doing another 40 to our opponent's Pikachu EX. As long as they don't have a potion, our Rapidash will take the knockout next turn, even though they will take the knockout on our Farfetch'd. If they do potion one time, our Blaine combined with that Rapidash will still take the knockout. So 1 potion coming down, as long as they don't have a second, we will be all right. Sadly, they did have the second potion, so that is unfortunate, but our Rapidash with 100 HP does survive an attack from the Pikachu EX as long as they don't have Giovanni. Alright, so we're going to promote our Rapidash here. Sadly, they did get that double potion turn off on us. We do draw into the Ninetales here though. So it's unfortunate that we don't have an X speed to get out of this Rapidash. So we're going to just end up doing 40 to our opponent's Pikachu EX. And we'll see what they do on their next turn. They're out of healing cards. So they could retreat out of this Pikachu EX if they wanted to. They could Giovanni us here as well. That would be unfortunate. If they can get the one shot on a Rapidash, dang, there's the Giovanni. That is too bad. Circle Circuit going to take the knockout on that Rapidash. So we just have to promote our Ninetales here, take the knockout on this Pikachu EX, and hope that they don't have another benched Pokemon to attack us next turn. Attach return onto the Ninetales. We're going to bench the Ponyta. Flamethrower will knock out the active Pikachu EX. We do have to discard a Fire Energy. But our opponent just had great hands this game. If they win this game, more power to them. They had great hands. They drew into those double potions. They had the Giovanni when they needed it. So not much we can do about that. Do they have the benched Pokemon they need to Circle Circuit? No, but they don't end up needing it because they have the Sabrina anyway. So our opponent just having the perfect response to what we did every turn of that game. Not much you can do about that. But we will head into another match after this and see if we can get a win with this Blaine deck. Yeah, sometimes your opponent just has it like that and there's nothing you can do about it. We also probably win that game if we send up the Vulpix on that one turn where we send up the Rapidash and then top deck the Ninetales. But you can't really do that when you don't have the X speed in hand. If we did have the X speed in hand already, we could have just gone into the Vulpix, hope we top deck the Ninetales. But you can't do that when you don't have the X speed in hand. So our opponent, we are going second, and we'll see what we're playing against. Looks like they've got some Psychic Energies, so it's probably a Mewtwo deck. Mewtwo a little tough because we don't have a great way to one-shot it, but we are a little bit faster than them. We have the X speed, we have double Pokeball, so maybe we can get into that Farfetch'd and start leak slapping. Looks like they are playing the Gengar as well. We'll see if they're playing the Gengar EX, the basic Gengar, or both potentially, but both of them keep us from playing supporters from our hand. So we're going to want to play our supporters early before they get into those Gengars. Pokeball getting us a second Ponyta. Second Pokeball coming down here. Can it get us that Farfetch'd? No, second Vulpix. All right. So we are going to bench nothing yet. We're going to research first. There's the Farfetch'd. There's the Ninetales. Farfetch'd coming down. Vulpix going down. Second Vulpix going down. X speed to retreat out of this Ponyta, and we are leak slapping this gas. All right, and we'll see how our opponent responds here. They've got a 3-card hand. They did not play any supporters last turn. They can hit into us for 20 with that Ghastly, but we'll see if they decide to use their energy attachment on something else. Instead, they are going to be retreating, actually, out of that Ghastly into the other Ghastly. Suffocating Gas, come down onto our Farfetch'd. Going to do 20 damage to us. All right, we got a Giovanni. We're just going to hold that for now. It's not doing anything for us. We're going to evolve into that Ninetales and then Leak Slap onto this Ghastly. I don't recall how much damage Haunter does, but there is a chance that this Farfetch'd gets knocked out this turn if they have the Haunter. Research from our opponent to draw 2 cards. See what they do here. Treating out of that Ghastly into Ralts. Just buying time. It looks like they are not finding their evolutions. And a Ram coming down onto the Farfetch'd. That puts us in a good spot here. Evolve into Rapidash. We're going to attach to the Ninetales. Retreat out of that Farfetch'd. And just start Flamethrower. This will knock out basically everything they've got on the board right now. So we should be on track to win as long as we're able to just keep attaching to this Ninetales. Opponent sending up that damaged Ghastly, both their Ghastlies damage from that Leak Slap on our Farfetch'd. Do they draw into their evolutions this turn? Another research coming down. They've only got about 6 cards left in deck, so they must have some evolutions at this point. Maybe just not the ones they need. Energy attachment coming down onto that Ghastly. Suffocating Gas, gonna do 20 to our Ninetales. There's a second Ninetales. And Flamethrower gonna take out this Ghastly. No Haunters coming down yet from our opponent. But I think this should just be the game. X speed there, maybe they can retreat into something. There's a Mewtwo EX. They can attach, turn onto that Mewtwo and just retreat out of this Ghastly. But Flamethrower is still doing 90 per turn to that Mewtwo EX. So we are in a good spot to two-shot that Mewtwo. And if we top deck a Sabrina, we also win the game that way. Sabrina coming down from our opponent, so we are going to go into Rapidash. X speed to get out of that Rapidash. But we're just going to Fire Main here, I think. No reason not to. We have to multi-shot this Mewtwo anyway. And we're in a good spot. Potion healing up that Mewtwo a little bit, but another Fire Main will put it at 90. That means our Flamethrower will knock it out. Psychic Sphere coming down from our opponent, going to do 50 to our Rapidash. Sabrina, we have the X speed in hand, so I'm just going to let them... We'll just let them hit into this Ninetales actually, because then we can just Flamethrower for 90 and we win on the following turn. We actually just win on this turn now that we've got our Sabrina. So attach return onto that Ninetales. Flamethrower going to knock out their Ghastly, and that will be our final prize of the game. So unfortunately for our opponent there, they cannot draw quite into their evolutions to get their deck moving. That is the tough thing in TCG Pocket sometimes. If you're not finding your evolutions, sometimes you're just not doing much. We will jump into a third game on the ladder here, see if we can go 2 for 3 with this Blaine deck. We haven't even gotten to play a Blaine yet, I don't think, either. At least we didn't play one in that last game, so hopefully we can utilize the Blaine to great effect in this game. Heads, that means we are going first. Starting that Farfetch, so it would have been sweet to go second, but that's all right. Our opponent looks to be playing a fighting type deck with Marowak. We do get the Vulpix. We're going to bench that and then just end our turn. So that's nice. We have the Leak Slap into the Cubone and then Evolution into our Ninetales. Pokeball from our opponent. Going to find them a random basic from their deck. And we'll see where they choose to attach for turn. Gonna bench that Mankey. Sadly, they're playing the suboptimal Mankey, the new Mankey from the Lapras event Max is really good. Let's check what that Growl did to us. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon do 20 less. Alright. So doing 20 less damage. Nope, don't want to play the Giovanni. Just want to evolve the Ninetales. We are going to Leak Slap anyway. Only 20 onto that Cubone, but if they don't evolve a second Leak Slap will do it. Well, no, not with the Growl, but that is alright. Our opponent evolving into that Primeape. Touch for turn onto the Primeape. Another Growl coming down from our opponent's Cubone. Alright, we have the Blaine in hand. So we could knock out Cubone with Rapidash, but I want to set up our Ninetales more than I really want to be taking the knockout on this Cubone right now. So we're just going to Leak Slap again. See what our opponent chooses to do. This Primeape for 2 fighting energy does 40. If it has any damage on it, it does 60 more damage. So 100 for 2 fighting energies if it's got damage on it. But our Ninetales can one-shot that Primeape, so we are in an okay spot. We have the Giovanni in hand to take the one-hit KO on this Marowak as well, since it only has 100 HP left. We flip double tails, so not doing any damage to our Farfetch'd. It's unfortunate for them. We're going to Pokeball here. Get a second Ponyta. We'll bench that. Touch for turn on to Ninetales. Retreat out of the Farfetch'd into the Ninetales. Giovanni to do plus 10. Be 100 with our Flamethrower attack. And that is the knockout on the Marowak EX. In a really good spot here because we have the Blaine in hand to basically one-shot anything our opponent puts into play now. Unless it's a second Marowak EX. Looks like they're setting up that Primeape though. We have the Sabrina in hand as well to gust around anything too chunky for our Ninetales to get through. Yep, and they're going to put up that Marowak EX, but we can Sabrina around it, bring up that Primeape, and knock it out with that Flamethrower. Pass from our opponent. Now we just have to Sabrina, and that'll be game. Attach for turn. Flamethrower for the knockout on the Primeape. And that is the end of game 3 for us. So 2 for 3 on the Blaine deck. I do think this deck is very strong. Our opponent just drew so well with that Pikachu deck against us. Just had the perfect response to everything we were doing. So I do think that we normally win that matchup, but they just drew perfectly in that game. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully our videos are helping you figure out what decks you want to play next in TCG Pocket. The game is super exciting to me. I am absolutely loving it right now. If you want to check out that Lapras EX event that is going on, we do have a video on our channel on that event. Obviously, you can pull Lapras EX as well as a bunch of other new promo cards. Like I mentioned in that matchup earlier, there is a new Mankey that is a better Mankey than the one that you can pull from Genetic Apex. So the Lapras event is very cool, and we have a bunch of other videos on our channel to check out. So don't forget to hit that like button, comment down below what you thought of this video, and subscribe to our channel for more TCG content.